Coming to you live from the Tino Studios in Minooka, Illinois. I'm your host, Bucky Shanks, and this is Tino Tonight. Welcome everybody to the Week 8 edition of Tino Tonight. Conference play is heating up as we are 4 games in and teams are starting to show their true colors. A couple of major upsets last week shook up the rankings. Another major milestone was hit, and we have a special guest joining the show this week. But let's jump right into it. Here are this week's milestones. Baylor head coach Lanny Strong became the second coach in Tino history to win 50 career games when he knocked off Oklahoma State last week. Lanny is a career 50-16. He's never had a losing record, a 32-10 record versus the Big 12, 25-11 record versus the top 25, 11-6 record versus the top 10, and a 6-3 career playoff record. Those 6 wins are tied for the second most all time. He also has 2 national championship appearances. Clemson head coach Dave Labby got his 40th career win this past week, becoming the 9th head coach to do that. And Purdue's Connor Petchke got career conference win number 20 this past week. And joining us now, he's a 3-time bowl winner. He's never had a losing record in his tenure as head coach. He's coming off his best season yet with 9 wins, and he's off to the best start in school history this season. Of course, I'm talking about none other than Florida Gator head coach Frank Finger. Coach, welcome to the show. That's quite an introduction, Bucky. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Been a fan of yours for a long time. Coach, you just had your 6-game winning streak snapped by Arkansas. What went wrong? Well, I think we need to take a look at the defensive side of the ball, Bucky. Let's start with defensive tackle. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, they're young players. They're important players. Under 20 points for both of them. But that's going to happen when you're dealing with first and second year players. Who I have a major issue with is Kenny Clark. Kenny, I've started twice this year, and in his 2 starts, he went for a cool 3.25, and he followed that up this week with a goose egg. The weeks I haven't started him, he's gone for at least 30 points in all those games. Sounds like the defense left a lot to be desired last week. What was your opinion of the offense? They were quite underwhelming as well. Mahomes and Jordan Addison took care of business like they always do, but we had so many players just not show up last week. It was just one of those weeks where by 3 p.m. on Sunday, you got a pretty good feeling that you lost, and no different here. Looking ahead to this week, it doesn't get any easier. Tennessee is next, and they're hot, winners of their last 5. How do you plan to attack the Volunteers? Well, Mark has a great team over there. No question about that. They've been a thorn in our side for years. We haven't been able to beat them yet, and if we want any shot of getting to the SEC title game, we need to get it done this week. Big game this week without question. Coach, thank you for taking a few minutes and stopping by. Best of luck the rest of the way. And that brings us to our top 25. Outside of some spots being shuffled around, Arkansas and Arizona State are the only newcomers to the top 25 this week. And that'll do it for this week's edition of Tino Tonight. For all of us here at Tino Studios at Buckingham Palace, I'm your host, Bucky Shanks. Good night, everybody.